today. I want to start by just like talking about how Britney was drunk on AI hype way before a lot of us, especially in marketing, dating almost back to like 10 years when you first built your LLM as an SEO rap generator, combining Rand's Moz blogs with Beyonce's Lemonade lyrics. It's safe to say that you were almost like a decade ahead of most when you shifted your focus from SEO to machine learning. What was the triggering factor back then that led you to have this crystal ball moment and go down this new endeavor?
Such a good question, Phil. Oh my gosh. I think, you know, we're all so different as people, and I think unique things fuel unique individuals. And for me, it's always been like this passion and like love of learning, love of tinkering and understanding how the hell something works. And I had that for a really long time in SEO, and I still get to experience little like spurts of that. But I needed something to really sink my teeth into at that point because I had sort of plateaued as far as SEO experiments and all that stuff goes. And when I learned about machine learning through that Harvard CS 109 course, my life, like again, like I knew it was forever changed by this because of the innate power of feeding a model data and letting it learn patterns and representations on its own. I mean, the examples that we were playing with throughout that class were already so powerful that I was so confident and so sure that this would be part of the future that I knew I couldn't let go and I had to like continue deep diving. So I remember, when TensorFlow first came out and how excited I was to write like it was over 200, probably close to 300 lines of code to do like a very basic kind of linear regression model with TensorFlow. And now that's all been abstracted away into just a couple lines of code. So it's exciting to see how this has progressed. And I'm sort of a Frankenstein developer of sorts. And so I like to find something that has already been built to do something. And then I like to sit there and consider how can I break that and make it do something similar, but for this over here. And so, yeah, I just started incorporating different models into my life, into my work, making really silly things. Like I remember in Denver, I had a co-working space and I used to walk my computer around like a baby when I had built my first MNIST model because it could recognize handwritten numbers with like a success rate of something like 90 something. I was super proud of it. So I was like, write down a number, like look at this. I was so proud. And just yeah, I was just obsessed with it. It's so fun.
Very cool. What makes you amazing, I feel like, is like the curiosity that spurs you down this new research path, but also the time you take to educate peers and like the rest of us in the marketing and the SEO community. And I feel like your endeavor with Data Sci 101 is right in line with these goals. Like you established the new venture to educate the public about the creation and the capabilities of LLMs. And your aim is kind of to foster like public discourse, educate people, but also interesting ideas like alleviating the irrational fears around AI and ML, and cultivate more trust and support just like a more considered approach to the future of it, right? And so you've actually already released some content. I've had the pleasure of reading part 1 and 2 of your guide on LLM, and you're kind of on tour right now, like speaking at a bunch of different events. I watched your recorded talk that you did for Bright on SEO. What's next for Brittany and Data Sci 101? Like, what do you have in store?
Yeah. So I feel like, first of all, I just love finding really cool stuff and being like, hey, check this out. Like, look at what this can do. Like, you can do this for whatever you're working on. And so it's just that part is so fun for me. And I think as marketers, we have been absolutely robbed with statistical knowledge. Like, never in, my marketing career path was anyone ever like, hey, like you should really get a lot better at statistics because you're going to be dealing with data all the damn time. And I wish someone would have like, suggested that or helped me with that. And I think just even as like a general, like anyone, that consumes content, it's so important to have just basic statistical understanding. But truly from the marketer perspective, I was like, when I took a step back and the more I had to like get statistical and data science knowledge for some of the machine learning work that I was doing, I realized like the gaping hole in the
Mm-hmm.
marketing industry that, really is the sort of data centric, data literacy gap that would empower so many marketers to make more strategic decisions, to find better insights, to surface some of those things easier. And so that has been a real passion project of mine. And I have been working very hard on different content mediums to communicate some of those things and communicate it in like a very different and fun way. I think the long form blog post like is great for me because that's kind of traditionally how I've formatted different pieces, but I love to take a page out of my friend Daisy Quaker's book where she's always like, all right, you build this big long resource, like you have the turkey, make turkey sandwiches, like go make sandwiches with it, Britt. I'm like, oh, we all should be making more sandwiches. So I'm working on that. It's been fun.